Hello guys. Today in class we talk about past perfect progressive. Okay. When we talk about past perfect progressive, is the tense. Okay. Uh, that is referring to a past action of the simple past. O sea, una acción pasada de la pasada. Okay. So, to talk about continuous actions or states which continued up to a point in the past. How are we going to form the structure? Well, we need a pronoun or a name or a subject. It could be singular or plural because then we're going to use had, and the auxiliary had goes with any pronoun, any name in singular or plural. And if we are going to use it in negative, well, the negative goes in had, in the auxiliary. So we can use had, not, or hadn't. Plus the verb to be in past participle, been, and the progressive is the action with ing. Okay? So we can say I or she or the students had or hadn't in negative, plus been plus verb with ing. Any action with ing, playing, studying, dancing, swimming, etc. We have some examples. I'd been waiting for an hour when the train pulled in. He hadn't been studying much until he failed his first exam. Okay? So when we are describing two events, for example, they've been waiting for 2 hours when the bus finally arrived. Okay, they've been waiting for 2 hours is already a statement. When the bus finally arrived, it's another statement. Okay, so we have a connector with when. Okay, so remember, we're going to use any pronoun, name, or subject, singular or plural, plus had or hadn't, plus been, and then the action with ing. Okay, and remember that had, you can use the contract form by putting just apostrophe d. Okay, now with past perfect, remember that we can work with for or since, also with never and never, but for this tense, past perfect progressive, we can work with for, or since. When are we going to use for? We're going to use for, okay, if we want to say how long the action or state lasts, we generally use for at the beginning of the time expression. For 10 minutes, for 20 years, for 2 centuries, for a very long time. Okay? Now, for a specific time, we're going to use since. If we want to say when the action or state began, we use since, followed by the time or another expression, which indicates the time. For example, since 2 o'clock, since previous Monday, since 1975, since the end of the war, since I was a baby. You're already supposed to know this information because on last tetra we talk about past perfect. Okay? Example, the two scientists had been waiting for 50 years since 1945 when they finally discovered the youth drug. Okay, so please pay attention to this information. Okay, so you can select the correct answer. Okay, now in the next slide we have the same information, okay, with more examples. Past perfect continuous, remember that continuous or progressive is the same, okay? So the form, we can have it in affirmative, negative, or interrogative form, okay? And we have the example. They had been playing tennis. We have the subject, then had plus been plus the action with ing. In negative, they had not been playing tennis. The auxiliary in the negative goes in the auxiliary, okay? In the question, the auxiliary goes first, as you know. Had they been playing tennis? And like you are asking with had, you have to answer with had. Had they been playing tennis? Yes, they had. No, they hadn't. Okay. Usage. Okay, let's see the use. Express it's to express a past action that already started and continue up to another action or time in the past. It's like the past of the past. Okay. The boys had been playing soccer for about an hour when it started to rain. Okay. Or to emphasize the duration of an activity in the past. Richard needed a holiday because he had been working hard for 6 months. Okay. Or to express cause for something in the past. He was tired because he had been jogging. Okay. And with a time expression, we can use when as a connector, or before, or by the time, for, or since. Okay. This is more information about this tense that in fact is a really simple one. And then we have more more information, okay, for affirmative, negative, interrogative, okay, or a negative interrogative, okay. You have to use any pronoun, any name, okay, singular or plural, plus had been, or negative, hadn't been or had not been, okay, and then the action with ing, any kind of action, okay. These are some examples, okay. And finally, I add more information, okay, with more examples. So I just want that you read and study them. The only thing that you have to do is to remember the structure, okay? If you remember the structure, you're already done with this, okay? You need to read the statement. If it is a statement, it's a pronoun plus had or hadn't in negative, plus been, and then the ing, the action with ing. If it is a question, we need to begin with the auxiliary. Okay, had you, had she, had we, had the students. Okay, and then been, and then the action with ing. If you ask with had, you need to answer with had. Okay. But if you have a WH question, the WH question goes first, okay? What, where, who, etc. Here we have how long. How long is also a WH question word. So we have how long plus had plus the auxiliary, how long plus the auxiliary had plus the pronoun, and then been, and then the action with ing, okay? Or instead of how long, we can work with where. Where had they been working? Okay, they've been working in London. Apostrophe D is the contraction of had. So please pay attention, and this information comes on the English Discovery. Let me see if I have here the information on the English Discovery. Okay, this is lesson 4. It's lesson 4. Okay, unit 2. Okay, remember that before this you're supposed to see a video, okay, you're supposed to see a video, be careful, okay, in which there were 3 persons. They were in an antique store. They were seeing lamps and frames and like this thing that can help you to hear an LP, como un tocadiscos, okay? And this information was about that Frank goes with his father, and his father was interested in having this thing that can help us to listen an LP, okay? Of course, you don't know what's an LP because you just familiarize with iPad and Spotify, etc. Pero un LP es una cosa redonda, grande, y donde se escuchaba música. Okay, so I ask you to see this video, to watch this video, because I'm going to ask some questions. Okay, and some of you answer the questions. How many persons are there in the video? What was happening? What happened to his father? What is he what does he want to buy, etc. Okay, so just some of you answer the questions, and those persons are going to have extra points. Okay, and this video is the first lesson. Okay, be careful is the name of the video. It's the first lesson, unit 2. Okay, and then past perfect progressive. Okay, is the grammar information that we saw today. Okay, so we are going to have again another activity next Friday. Okay, because we need to see unit 3. Okay, if you have any question, please let me know.